Welcome to Arcade Audio.
I'm dancing.
You should see him.
It's the MusiPals. It's the MusiPals.
Oh, God.
It's the MusiPals.
It gets me every time.
Hey, gang. Oh, I gotta fade out. Hold on. On this new fancy laptop.
Yeah, do that manual fade.
Oh, I did. Don't you worry.
Okay.
Hey, pals.
Hi.
Welcome to the MusiPals. It's your drive at 5.
That is false.
This is not.
That's my new disc jockey
It is
impression.
650.
We got the groove to make you move.
I can't even deal with this.
We got the pants to make you dance. I don't know what's happening. What's happening? All right. Hey, pals. That was a disaster. This is not, in fact, your drive at 5. So if you meant to do that, you should switch back over. This is, of course, MusiPals. It is a podcast about musicals for our MusiPals, and I am your sweet, sweet little girl in the tall tower trapped by a witch. Musanoob Dan.
And I'm that witch, and I'm music nerd Katie.
I'm that witch.
That's my
And-
catchphrase.
And with us today, I'm so excited. I'm going to introduce him this time. Usually, Katie,
Good.
you introduce, but I'm going to do it. We have musician and self-help expert, Ryan Anderson.
Most of these titles are not relevant at
Yeah,
all.
it is. One of my best friends and one of my sweetest lovers. Not that part. Not that part. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Dan. Katie, I wish you were here to save me.
What an intro.
As a buffer. How could we not give an intro like that for our second Sondheim musical?
Oh my gosh, second Sondheim. I'm so happy.
Oh, Stevie Sonny. I gotta give him a better
disrespectful.
nickname.
Don't call him that.
Can I call him Sauna? Stevie Sauna? Sauna.
Maybe. We'll ask him.
All right. Anyway, Ryan, welcome to the show. We're so happy to have you.
Yeah,
You want to
I'm
introduce
very happy to
yourself
be
in a
here.
better way than I have been?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, besides the lover, I would say, yeah, musician and audio engineer and just
Self-help expert.
not that part, but
He's a huge fan of self-help books, and that's a real
Really?
fact. Yeah.
they're great reads. You know, they
He
are
loves
good
them.
reads.
He
I
loves
love
them.
it. What's your favorite one?
Oh, see, now you're putting me on the spot. I don't have
What's
a
the one
favorite.
you're reading now?
What's the one you would recommend to our listeners first?
Like,
if
I
they've
don't
never
even
read a
know. I don't
self-help
even
book?
know
How
the
to
one
read
that I'm
shit.
reading now.
That's not surprising because with I feel like
yeah.
with self-help books, you just start reading them and you go, I don't really know what this is about, but there's some good advice.
I feel like it ends, and you're like, yeah.
Okay.
I am not sure what to take away from that, but it felt good. You know,
It
the whole
felt
time.
good.
You threw a lot at me.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, what's the one you call it? It's like you.
Handbook
Mindfulness?
to Higher Consciousness.
There
is
you
the
go.
one that I'm reading right now.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
and
pretty
it says,
interesting.
says right on the cover, over a
cool.
million sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Ryan,
I like it.
I've been wanting to have you on the show for a while, actually. So you were actually mentioned in a couple episodes ago by my sister. So this is technically your second appearance on MusiPals. Your second mention on MusiPals.
Yeah, there we
Oh,
go.
foreshadowing.
That's right. Tell us why you chose Into the Woods.
Oh, well, I was in it in high school.
I know it.
Who'd you
and
play?
So were you.
I was not in it.
So there was a lot of.
I wasn't asking you, Dan.
No, I know Ryan.
Okay.
There was a lot of people that auditioned and cast for the show, and there's not that many
No.
people actually in the show, so they like made up these parts, and it was more like just like background little like dwarfs and like.
Ryan played a dwarf.
But I got to see the show
yeah.
enough to really, learn to enjoy it. So yeah.
Amazing.
If it makes
Yeah.
you feel any better, I've had in my head until recently when I like really thought about it that you played Jack. So let's just go with that.
Yeah. So I was Jack in the show.
so I played Jack.
Amazing.
No, I actually, Ryan being in Into the Woods, I have a fun story that I don't know that you know. It's a quick one. Into the Woods, other than A Christmas Carol, which you were in as a little baby,
Mm-hmm.
as a little child, Into the Woods was like the first musical I think that I saw live.
Oh, wow.
And it was your version of it. And I went
Oh,
because I was
wow,
like,
that's
what's
rough.
Ryan got going on? No, it was pretty good.
No, I think we did
Friendship.
it. We
Good.
did a good job of it.
Yeah. Well, welcome.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's great to be here.
So wait, did you only chose it because you were in it? You just there's
Oh no,
other
and
reason?
also I just like the idea that like it's all these characters that everyone kind of already knows,
Yeah.
but on a very like superficial level, and only
Yeah.
like they all know the stories, but they don't really know like the depth of the character, and
Right.
and the fact that they bring all these characters together into one kind of evolving story where
It's
it's
super cool.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a cool concept, I think.
So you may know this, but on MusiPals, some of our guests pick musicals that they like and some that they don't like. You would say you're on the former end of the spectrum, that you would like this.
Yeah,
show?
yeah, I do. I like this show.
Well, that's good. You didn't pick it because you despised being in it.
Yeah, no.
Speaking of, you could have picked King and I, which Ryan Anderson and I were both in, and that's a show we despise.
Yeah, in which I told Dan I can't watch that again.
Yeah, I don't think we could have handled that.
That picture is amazing of the two of you.
Oh my God,
Oh,
we'll post
wow.
that. We'll post the
That's
picture.
rough.
It's very racist. MusiPals,
Ugh.
it's taken a long time for me to become woke, and I didn't know how racist I was forced to be in high school, dressing up like a a Thai person, like self.
Yeah, and they were like, "Yeah, no, do this. This is what we need to do."
We painted like slant, like narrow eyes. Like that's bad.
Yikes.
That's
Yeah.
not okay.
Yikes.
But thankfully, we're not talking about
Yeah.
King and I. We're talking about
Yes,
Into the Woods.
thankfully. Yes.
Yeah, as you hopefully knew from that gorgeous, gorgeous song I sang in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's
if
the
not,
music
now you know.
house. So where do we go next? I forget. We go into just what we thought about the show, right? Yeah. Am I
No,
missing anything?
MusiPals life is first.
Thank you. Thanks. I got a lot going on. I got a lot spinning in my head. Okay. So before we dive into the show, we have everyone's favorite segment, the part where we talk about us for several minutes.
Oh, I can't wait.
In it's MusiPals Life, and then the song plays. Katie, you want to kick it off?
I'll kick it off.
All right.
I have some stuff going on. Are you ready?
Yeah, you do. I'm so excited. I actually have been like purposely not asking you about all this stuff you've got going on because I wanted to hear it on air.
You're gonna hear it right now. And
That's
it's
right.
well, first, should we share our joint news first?
Oh yeah, we should do that.
So
We have such exciting news.
we are so freaking excited and pleased. We have been, what do you say, picked up by Arcade Audio.
That's right, we-
Podcast Network.
We are joining the Arcade Audio family.
Is that how you phrase it? Yeah. We're
Yeah.
joining the Arcade Audio family, and we're so happy.
Yeah, it's amazing. They're a really fantastic podcast network. They've got some really great shows themselves. Podswoggle, the Dilettante Ball, the Heels and Heels. What's fun is the Heels and Heels are two girls talking about wrestling, and then Podswoggle's two guys talking about wrestling. So we've really got a diverse network that we're jumping into. We are definitely the only musicals podcast on the network, but
Which
we're
is
also one of
great.
the only musicals podcasts in general. So
In general, yeah.
but the other great thing is Arcade Audio puts on something called Pod Slam, which is a live show in Chicago every year, and it's an event where all of your favorite podcasters from Arcade Audio, and I believe they accept submissions outside of Arcade Audio as well, come into a live show at I/O in Chicago, and all the the proceeds go to charity, go to a different charity, I believe, each year. And we are not positive yet, but it's seeming like the MusiPals might be there. So if you're interested in seeing a live performance of the MusiPals, come on out to Iowa. We'll get dates like a little bit closer.
Yeah. We certainly hope we'll be there anyway. It should be so fun. It sounds awesome.
We're so excited. It's really a great family of podcasts, and we highly recommend you checking out. I haven't even had a chance to check them all out yet, but good stuff. Very good stuff. Dilltown Balls is one of those podcast ideas that you kind of go like, why didn't I think of that? They just look at a Wikipedia article and talk about it, like any random Wikipedia article. That sounds so fun.
That is fun.
Yeah,
nice. They cover some cool stuff. So very, very exciting. Also, hopefully our listeners are excited, because what that now means is we have some help, and also we'll get yelled at if we don't produce now two shows a month. So
yeah, you're gonna have a lot more content coming your way.
Yeah,
we're gonna get in trouble if we don't now.
So hopefully you don't get tired of us. But how could you? We're just so sweet. Sweet
Daniel.
Sweet MusiPals. But no, in all seriousness, we're incredibly excited and incredibly honored that Arcade Audio was even considered us, and let alone wanted to pick us up and let us join their podcast network. So
yeah, it's awesome.
So that's the MusiPals life overall.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing.
Congrats, guys.
My
That's
news.
awesome.
Thanks, Ryan. We already told Ryan. He was pretty excited in the car.
No, I am. That's awesome. That's really cool.
He shouted and everything.
Thanks, Ryan.
He didn't shout. He's not much of a shouter.
Okay, but my news.
Yes, go.
I'm making this about me. I just watched Westworld in 24 hours. And
That's not.
I am shook. I can't handle it.
What? I'm sitting here waiting for like legitimate news about how your auditions went. And turns out you tell me about Westworld and how good it is.
It's so good. Did you watch it?
I didn't because I keep like in my head so I'll talk about Westworld with someone and I'll think that's really cool, and then immediately as soon as the conversation ends, I think Waterworld, the movie Waterworld, which is just an abysmal film, and so I think, okay, well, I don't want to watch Waterworld.
No.
And that ends. So no,
Westworld is so good. It's so good. I started watching it at like 4 p.m. I watched it until 4 a.m. and then I slept until 8 a.m. and then I finished it at like noon.
What? First of all, that's amazing. Second of all, you've got to be playing a goof right now.
I am not. I like don't watch TV shows like that. Like I will sit and like watch a few episodes, but I've never been like I literally can't sleep. Like I have to know what happens.
And it was Westworld.
And then in my nap break, like it wasn't a full night's sleep, it was just a nap. I like had such bad nightmares that I was. Well, I don't want to spoil anything because you haven't seen it, but I had such bad nightmares that I was one of the robot. I had a horrible nightmare. I feel like I'm a host.
Did you have a nightmare that you were Kevin Costner? That wouldn't be a nightmare. That would be a dream.
Who's Kevin Costner?
He's the lead character.
Who does he play?
In Waterworld.
In Waterworld.
What is Waterworld? I've never heard of Waterworld.
How do you not know what Waterworld is? Literally, it's a movie about what if the world basically ended and everything was just on water.
Oh, that sounds dumb. I don't like that.
And Kevin Costner grows gills.
He does? How fast?
This makes me want to watch this movie.
It's so good.
Like a million years of evolution in like a year?
I don't know. It's been so long since I've seen it. I don't know. But
well, anyway, please watch Westworld. It's so freaking good.
If I promise you that I'll watch Westworld.
I have not seen it.
Ryan,
I've not seen it, but right now I'm really in the mood for Waterworld.
You see?
That's the wrong impulse. You guys need to, when we're done recording, go and watch Westworld.
We'll rent Waterworld. So and we'll watch Kevin Costner flipping around like a dolphin.
That is silly. You're being silly.
Katie, if I promise to watch Westworld, will you please tell me and the listeners how your GD auditions in freaking New York City went?
No.
That's what I've been waiting to hear.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think we should keep this in because, like, long story short, I didn't get the part.
So who cares? You went to New York to do auditions.
Right,
Tell us about the auditions. It's so cool. I don't care if you got the part. It's freaking awesome.
Oh, that's nice of you. the auditions were really great. I never auditioned for a Broadway show before. I built it up. Oh God, my mom is calling me.
Perfect.
Okay. So I'd never auditioned for a Broadway show before. And so I was really nervous because that's a big deal, you know?
Yeah.
But I got there. They were at Pearl Studios, which I know what that is now, and I feel very cool and like an insider. Which is like, I should have known what it was anyway. But yeah, I got there and everyone was like so chill and so nice, and I was like
Really?
very professional,
That's, like,
but
the
just like
opposite of what
everyone
I
was
would've
like
expected.
so nice, and I know I was like ready for like the cliche like auditors and whatever, and like that you see in like Fame and stuff.
Right,
Like
right.
just everyone was like so nice throughout the
Jeez.
entire process. Yeah, which was awesome. I was like, why haven't I been like doing this more? Like it's
Why,
great.
why haven't I been going to do Broadway auditions more often?
Yeah, like why don't I
They're every
just, like,
weekend.
I'm just
go every weekend?
Make this a new thing I do.
like have amazing opportunities all the time.
Yeah, right.
No,
Can
it was great.
You didn't say what the shows were for. I think that was the most exciting thing for me. What the show was for. What the audition was for is the words that I'm trying to form
It was
out
for
of my
the
mouth hole.
it was for the new, they're making the Mean Girls musical.
Yeah.
Tina Fey is
Oh,
writing
How cool
it.
is that?
They're doing it, and it's gonna be great. There's no way that it's not gonna be absolutely amazing.
That's awesome.
And,
And you're gonna go see it, I would assume.
yeah, I mean, come on, everyone's gonna go
Right.
see it.
Well, you know what's cool, and I mean this sincerely. Anyone who goes and sees it, you'll know that you were in some way affiliated with it, and regardless of whether you got the part,
I
that's just
mean,
cool. Like
yeah,
that's
oh,
just
not at
cool.
all.
It is.
Thank
it is.
you.
Okay, we're impressed.
Thank you. That's very kind. It was a very cool opportunity. Everyone was super, super nice. And hopefully I'll get more chances like that in the future. It's great.
Yeah, we all
Yeah.
hope
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Thanks.
I know
You're so
if-
kind.
If I keep doing what I've been doing with the MusiPals openings, there's almost no chance that Stevie Sondheim isn't going to give me a call and say, "Hey, man, I need you to be in my next gig, my next joint."
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine Steven Sondheim being proud of you like that?
Yeah.
Like I
We-
just
we
would
talked about this.
combust into a ball of like warmth and just like live in space and like be happy for eternity. Like
Wow.
Yeah.
could you imagine if Steven Sondheim was like, I'm so proud of you, and he
have
like
you been
gave you a
reading
hug,
self-help
like
books,
that would be
Katie?
it.
Have you been reading self-help books? That was very self-help. of you.
You think? I'm very hippy dippy all the time. I feel like you know this about me.
I do, but that was pretty existential.
That was
Was it?
nice.
We talked about this last time we had a Sondheim show, which was of course Sweeney Todd. And if you haven't listened to that, go listen to it.
Yeah.
Is he alive? Not Sweeney Todd.
Yes, he's alive.
Okay, that's what I thought. And so
He's old, but
my
he's
goof,
alive.
Goof still works. He's gonna give me a call on his landline because
Yeah,
he
there
doesn't
you
know
go.
what phones are. Cell phone.
Just check up on the details of my goof.
Make sure that yep, valid goof. I went to goofvalidator.net and they say, "Yep, you're golden."
They said,
Pony
"Yep, that's
boy."
a goof."
That's a
That's a certified goof.
anything else going on in your MusiPals life, Katie?
So this is like very personal. I feel like announcing this like to the world will like jinx something, but I don't think it will. I've never had a significant other like come like home and like meet my family and do all that stuff.
Man.
But my wonderful boyfriend Alex is coming to San
Who
Francisco
is-
with me next week.
Who was essentially on like one episode ago. 'Cause he slipped
He
you a
came
note
home
for
while I
one
was
of our
recording and
hashtag
I
that.
was distracted.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, wow. So he's going to San Francisco, huh?
Yeah, I'm so excited, and he's never been before, and so I can't wait to show him around, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
so fun.
But isn't your mom just like crazy cool and probably no matter what would be cool to him?
Yeah, my mom is crazy cool.
Yeah, so nothing
Yeah,
to worry
shout out
about.
to Denise.
Denise.
Yeah, no. They're gonna love him. Like, how could you not? I'm just excited for him to meet everyone and like hang out. And
That's awesome.
yeah.
Well, very cool.
Yes.
I don't have exciting romantic news of the same.
Well, Liv's cool.
Still dating Liv. Still having a good time.
Still having a good time.
Me and the old gal, we're okay.
She hung out with my parents for the 1,000th time.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool. That's exciting. That's nervous is what I was about to say.
That's nervous.
It's so nervous. What else? Anything else going on?
No, that's the big stuff. I'm in the
Big
final
stuff?
level now of the music conservatory at Second City, so we're working on our show.
Ooh.
Yeah, and so
My
that's
God, you've
fun
been doing
writing
that
everything.
for so long.
What? It has been so long.
So long.
It's been a year.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't realize
crazy.
that. Time flies when you're MusiPaling.
Oh, how cute! I know we've been doing this for kind of a while now.
Yeah, over a year.
Yeah, we should have more episodes.
Yeah, we only have 9 episodes.
Keeping them trucking.
We haven't hit our stride yet.
Arcade's gonna help us. Arcade's gonna help us.
They are. They are. That's right. Cool.
Yeah, but other than that, life's good. Yeah,
Living life,
normal
watching
stuff.
musicals, and watching Westworld.
Pretty much. Oh my gosh, I've already
We
dude.
don't need more Westworld talk.
Dude, Westworld is so I am literally obsessed. I spent another 2 or 3 hours a day watching fan theories on YouTube. I just can't stop.
Jesus Christ.
I can't stop.
Welcome to the show. It's called the Westworld.
Honestly,
Pals.
we should just turn this into a Westworld
Not the
podcast
same ring,
because I
not the
can't
same
think of
ring.
anything
No, it
else.
I'll tell you what, that's not happening. But maybe we'll talk about Waterworld after Ryan and I go watch it after this.
I refuse.
All right, Ryan. Putting you on the spot. What's going on in your MusiPals life? Anything fun?
In my
Anything
MusiPals,
exciting?
I was not expecting
I know it.
this at all.
Usually people don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
It happens to every guest, and none of them expect.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh,
What
me?"
is going on in my MusiPals life?
Anything, everything. You had a gig last weekend. A gig?
Yeah, just a lot of different concerts and gigs. I just did 2 shows today on rooftop patio thing for CBS Radio. They had a couple different.
Yeah, Ryan's a legit recording engineer. He does stuff for real people.
That's so
I
cool.
Shouldn't have said that. Or I shouldn't. I should have
For
said
real
that.
people.
Hockey Town is a pretty big thing in the Detroit area, and Ryan's affiliated with that.
So did that today, and yeah, that was today.
So that's today.
Yeah, it's a lot of so I do a lot of freelance work. So each week it's just a different venue, different concerts I do stuff at. I mean, no one's gonna know these places, but
Some people will.
St. Andrews Hall,
Oh,
and
yeah, people
Blind
will know
Pig, and there's a theater in Canton called Village Theater,
Probably not
and then
that
I
one.
do stuff for CBS Radio. So it's a lot of just different thing every day, but it's good.
Yeah, we're
good.
actually
Cool.
we had some minor technical difficulties, and I'm lying. I lost some of the equipment we need to record this show, and so being the dunce that I am, I didn't check before Ryan came over to record the show to see if we had it, and so I didn't have it because I'm a dummy. And so we just sort of had to hop in the car and head on over to Ryan's freelance studio here. So thank God you were our guest this week,
Yeah,
because
it all works
otherwise
out.
we would have been very screwed.
Well, I was happy to help.
There we go. That's why this sounds so good, by the way. Don't get used to it, MusiPals.
Oh my gosh, you're good at it though. I feel like our shows sound good.
They sound fine.
Yeah, they do.
They sound fine.
Thank
but-
you, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm an avid listener.
Cool. Give it. Let the listeners know where they can find your music, unless you don't want to.
All my production stuff is on www.
Just 2 W's.
There's
This is a new-
3 W's
We're
in this
unlocking
one.
a new section of the internet just for this. It's you've heard it here first. It's WW. We're lopping off the W's,
Yeah,
saving
it's
bandwidth.
too many W's. It's
That's Ryan's pulpit. Too many
Yeah,
goddamn
too many
W's in the
and if there's
world.
one thing I'm gonna change in my lifetime,
Let's get one of those W's away. All right, so W dot.
yeah, rjamusic.com. That's where everything is.
Good. And are you still going by the same alias for your music? For your,
Yeah, it's calling on constellations. I haven't done a whole lot with it in the past or in recent times.
the opposite of the
yeah,
past.
opposite of what I just said. But yeah, I hope to get back to it soon once
Yeah.
I get some spare time. So
There you go. Yeah, it's almost impossible for me to hang out with Ryan anymore because he never has spare time. But anyway,
Just odd hours.
Just
A lot of odd hours.
It's a sad thing.
Well, I'm glad this is happening then.
Yeah, me too. This is our bonding time. We can bond through microphones.
Here we are.
Ryan and I have a rich history of very embarrassing pieces of media that I think I may send to Katie, just like 3 or 4 things, pictures, old songs, and at her discretion, let her post those to Twitter throughout.
Oh my
until we
god,
release
I
this
have so much
episode.
power. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, they're rough too.
There's some bad ones. That's
The
cool.
best. Cool. Hey Dan, you know what?
Hey Katie,
You want to tell us what's going on in your MusiPals life?
I do.
Please
You know I
do.
do.
Please tell us.
Great, sweet.
I need to know.
Not anything. No, we moved to
Okay.
Liv and I moved to Detroit, Michigan. So, listeners, if you're getting fatigued by keeping up with where I live, think about how I feel. It's just everywhere. So we live in Detroit, Michigan, right on the river. Our apartment has no air conditioning. The windows barely work, and today our water was shut off. so in general, things are looking up for this pal.
It looks like it's like from the glimpses I've seen from your Instagram stories and Snapchats, like the apartment looks really cool though.
Yeah, the apartment is really, really cool. It's like pretty much floor-to-ceiling windows that look over the Detroit River, which, for those of you who don't know, just right across the Detroit River, like visibly, it's not that long, is Canada. And so, Canada's right over there, which is super cool until you realize that you're on like a 25-minute phone call on Canada's cell towers and you have roaming charges, which is awesome.
Oh no.
But anyway, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's rough.
It's so fun. Just another added bonus. But yeah, and it's a one view of the Detroit River and Canada and one view of downtown Detroit. Super cool. Super not going to last longer than 2 or 3 months in it.
It's a really
Yeah.
beautiful apartment.
It is. We're trying something new.
Yeah, I think we're trying something new.
It's an artist's loft.
It's cool.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yesterday I got back from Austin, and I wanted to. I don't have anything going on in my life, but a really great thing happened. I was in the security line, and the TSA people, they like make sure you take off your laptops and shoes, and they like announce the things that you need to take off.
Mm.
This woman decided I don't know if she like just was a big weirdo or she was the funniest person on the planet. She was going. She said like the normal spiel, and then she goes, and make sure you don't have any liquids: barbecue sauce, mustard, Jell-O, pudding, coffee grounds, beer, soda pop, peanut butter pops, jelly, like just listening, mustard, ketchup, hot sauce, like for at least 3.5 minutes, just an endless string of liquids. And I've just demonstrated I can't even think of that many liquids on the spot.
Wow.
So she had to like rehearse these number of liquids. And that made me real happy, and I just wanted to make sure I shared that with everybody here. Also, there was beef in my Crunch Wrap on the way here, and I'm real bummed about it. That's why I've been such a bad mood this whole episode.
I'm so sorry, Dan.
Terrible mood.
It hasn't seemed like you've been in a bad mood.
I'm in a real bad mood.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, I'm not. I can never be in a bad mood when I'm recording. It's so fun.
It's so fun. It really is, though.
But yeah, that's about it. I did one of the things I was in actually was released, and it's so good. And I don't have any lines in it, but I do play like the butt of the joke, like the boyfriend, the bad boyfriend that the whole short film is about. And it's so cool to work with people who like really know what they're doing. Not to say that the people that I've worked with in the past don't know what they're doing, but like this guy did a freaking incredible job, and I'm like, man, wish I would have had some lines in that show. But anyway, it's released. If everyone wants to see it,
Well,
let
of
me
course.
know.
And
That's
where do
awesome.
you find that?
You can't. I gotta send it
okay.
directly to you.
Okay.
No, they're doing it. He's sending it to like festivals and stuff.
Oh,
so I
gotcha.
can't have a public link. Anywho, so with that, I think that's the end of MusiPal's life.
Okay.
Boom.
Sounds good to
We
me.
need like an ending bass groove. Boom. Ryan, will you work
the
on that for us?
Let's
Like
Seinfeld song.
Seinfeld? Yes. Exactly. There's this podcast
Actually, you
called The
could just-
Seinfeld Project that is just they get celebrities to like sing the Seinfeld like theme song.
That's a great idea. I wouldn't be able to do it off the
That's
top of
good.
my head.
You just did it.
I do know the bam, 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 bam. It's like the credits part.
Yeah, it's
See,
not, and
you could
it's
just
not like the
actually
same
use
every
that.
time. It's just like
There you
the
go.
transition music, you know, like they just
Yeah.
sing the Seinfeld song. I think it's called Seinfeld Project. It might be called something else, but it's really good.
So should we jump in?
Let's jump right on in.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let's go around the horn. We know Ryan liked it because he picked it.
Yeah.
Katie, what do you think of this show?
I saw this recording that we're talking about for the first time when I was in 8th grade, and it changed my life. It's an amazing
What?
show. I love
What?
Into the Woods so much.
Why did it change you? Why
I
did it
was
change your life?
I was like so like I just thought it was the most like creative and inventive thing that I've ever seen. Like building all these like fairy tales together and like all these like adult themes in Act 2. I was like, that's the kind of acting I want to do. Like these are the roles I want to play. Like this is the story I want to tell. Like it's such a good show.
Yeah, I can see that. So
Yeah.
it showed you a different side of or like a
Yeah.
new side of theater that you got excited about.
Yeah, it was kind of like the first time I had like known about like kind of a darker show, and then I had seen like a full production of something that wasn't like for children.
Yeah.
Like I
that
had
makes sense.
listened, like I listened to Les Mis and like tons of like I listened to Sweeney Todd and all that stuff, but I just like seeing it was such a big deal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you let me make sure I've got this correct. You seen the 1980s one, you've seen the most recent one with Anna Kendrick, and I believe what you said is that the Anna Kendrick one is incredible. It's the best piece of art ever made.
I like
Is
it
that
makes
correct?
me so upset, and I don't want to talk about it because it makes me so. I don't want to like spread negativity, but I just
You know
can't
what? This
stand
podcast
any
is never
second
gonna
of
get
it.
to
Like
Anna
I
Kendrick.
can't. Like Meryl Streep is good; she's always good, and Agony is really good. The song the Princess sang,
Mhm.
that like is probably the best performance of Agony that I've seen tons of different productions, and like that's probably the best one that I've seen. I think they
You're
got
not playing
the
into my
fight for
goof here.
status. What?
You're not playing into my goof here. You're just sort of going like, yeah, no, it is pretty good.
No, because it's so serious to me. It's not.
It's not a goof. I believe if I were to read the text message really quickly. And,
Yeah.
Pardon me one moment because I think it's worth finding. Let's see.
Okay, but while you're finding it, like Agony in the movie is so good. Like they really got the status fight like down. Like it's so funny. It's so great.
I found it. Oh, go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, I was gonna say I actually forgot that they made a movie, and I was referring to the Bernadette Peters one.
Okay,
when
good.
I picked it, and then Dan mentioned movie, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, like, let's do that. And then no.
She said, the movie makes me want to rip out all of my fingernails. I refuse to have the majority of the episode be about that movie. And then later said, like you guys would be mad at me for making you sit through the movie version. So your fingernail list, and also
just-
Ryan and I are mad at you.
It's just they changed the wrong stuff and the performance. Like I just think the the performances aren't like. It's just not. I can't. It makes me so stressed out.
You can't even put it into words.
I can't form a single phrase or sentence.
I just really like I just like 2 hours talking about that movie like would make me so sad. Like I can't do it.
I want to go watch it. So here's why.
I feel like watch it. Like it looks beautiful.
Right. Yeah. I was excited when I saw it come out. Like it looked like something I'd be interested in.
I had a lot of
when
high
I saw it.
hopes.
High apple pie in the sky hopes. So here's the thing. The story is great. The story is super cool, super clever because Stevie Sauna really knows how to put a story together. And the songs are pretty cool. He does a nice job. This show is a fucking mess. It's a chaotic
What?
mess.
What?
there are moments in the show where like 75 things are happening on stage. It looks like you're watching toddlers on a playground.
No.
They're like rolling around and screaming and singing over each other. It's like, I don't know what just happened in the last 4.5 minutes.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Oh no.
Well, then I get back into it. I'm like, okay, all right, this is fun. This is good. That's a nice song again.
You're wrong.
And then
Those
again,
are the
there's
best
like a
parts of the show.
long-winded death.
When it's just like a real conversation. Those are the best parts. Ugh.
I
Daniel.
just couldn't. It was just chaos.
I think like part of it that I like is the chaos, like in the music
I
and
agree.
like not so much the staging. I didn't really pay attention too much to the staging chaos, but like
That's mainly the issue for me.
the musical chaos.
Yeah,
I like.
you
I
would
like.
like
that,
that. Being like a musician, you probably were able to appreciate like the dual melodies and like the words over each other. I've even heard you write songs that are similar like to that, and that paired with people literally rolling around on the stage, I was like, I just can't do this, guys. I can't do it. But Katie, what were you saying?
I don't know, man.
But
She's so
overall,
upset.
I'm deeply hurt by
so-
that.
so that said, I'd watch it again.
Good.
No questions asked.
Good.
If someone said, "Do you want to put on Into the Woods?" I'd be like, "Yeah, let's put that in. Let's pop.
Hell yeah.
Let's pop that VHS in."
Hell yeah. You know what you should watch? Okay, we'll get into it in Nerd Alert.
All right, sounds good. And I would actually really, really love to see it on stage again because I don't remember the high school version at all. I thought you played Jack.
Well, and
so-
that's what's unique about the show too, is because it's done in like this is like the more I feel like traditional way that we saw, but there's another, and I don't know if you've seen this, Katie, where they have like a white stage and just like black tall beams as the trees, and it's very like minimalistic.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Postmodern.
No.
Oh yeah, it's super weird. It's super weird.
That's
and, like,
really
they
cool, though.
They did it. When we went when I was in it. I think it was like somewhere in Canada that.
Oh,
we
you
saw
went and
that
saw
they
it?
did it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it was really unique. And they did. I don't know if they. I think they did it in this version too, where the stage was actually like on an angle, like on an incline.
Oh yeah. They
Like
had a
as
little
you
bit.
go
Mhm.
upstage,
It's called
you're kind of
Raked.
like actually going up the hill. Yeah.
That's cool.
Um,
That'd be interesting. I would be really really interested in other like staged artistic renditions of it because it is such a cool what a cool ass idea like to bring all these fairy tales together
yeah.
and tell a little bit more background, tell what happens next, and like tell make fun of fairy tales, but then also sort of make your own fairy tale while you're
Right,
making
and
fun
it's
of fairy
like,
tales.
and then you got the Act 1, Act 2 thing where it's, happy first,
Right.
sad, super, adult
Yeah.
themes and stuff. So, yeah.
But what's so cool is that like the music is never really happy. Like even when they're all happy, there's like a sort of a dissonant
Yeah.
undertone, which is super cool.
And that's just Sondheim. That's
There
like,
you go. Stevie Sauna. So I did like it. I really enjoyed it. I think that I'm beginning to think that I just am a huge fan of Stephen Sondheim. Like that's 2 in a row that I've been like, yeah, I dig this.
yeah.
And like all the other shows other than Chicago and SpongeBob, I was like, I don't really dig this. Although Sound of Music was fun. Yeah, so anyway, I think that's a good, this is a good a chance as any for 3, 2, 1. Pals. You know when you say a word enough times and you forget what it means or how to say it? That just happened. Anyway, we love you, right? We love you so much. You're our favorite pals, and we try to do right by you. We try not to make any mistakes. We try to give you great content without any serious errors, but we failed. Unfortunately, at this point in the episode, we lost Katie's audio. We lost connection on her re-entry into Earth's atmosphere during her fabled journey back from Mars. She was the first woman to come back from Mars and record a podcast simultaneously. But those Earth's gases, they were too thick. I don't know, our gas is thick. Anyway, I'm not a scientist. I'm I'm just a podcaster. We lost her audio on the way back in, and it's we can't find it. It's irreplaceable. So we're not going to get that. We lost Nerd Alert and a little bit of the synopsis of the show. But the good news is there's still quite a bit of great content, and hopefully you were enjoying the stuff before this. And, you know, it happens, and we're really, really sorry. And we're especially sorry to our guest, Ryan Anderson. We have already told him we're going to have him back fairly soon. He might be our first repeat guest. Unfortunately, it's to fix our mistake. But nonetheless, we're going to have him back for another episode sometime fairly soon. So hopefully you're enjoying him so far. I know you are. There's still some more episode to go. And again, we're really sorry. We really do. We work so hard to make sure there's no issues in our recording and that like everything you listen to is enjoyable and seamless. And we failed this time. We screwed the pooch, which is a gross saying, by the way. Anyway, really, really sorry. We're going to cut back in here a part of the way into the synopsis, but then we still have the full bits. And we promise we've figured out what the issue is, and we will fix it next time. Thank you for listening. While I'm here, give us a review on iTunes. All right. Thanks. Bye. Oh, never crossed my mind. I thought they were just random items.
That's the whole point for creating the baker and the baker's wife is to tie it all together.
I don't get things sometimes, guys. It takes a minute. I didn't say the story was bad. Now you're just adding the reasons why it's good. Did not realize it. I literally just like okay, you have to collect random items. But no, because the corn. Where does the corn come from?
The hair is Rapunzel.
Yeah, but I guess.
Right.
Yeah. But where does the corn come from? Yeah, where does that?
Yeah, which is like they're like comparing the hair to the corn, and he's like, I just use the corn.
Yeah, right. Why does he have the corn? I feel like. Oh, he just brings it with him?
Yeah, he just like actually.
He's like, I brought some corn along with. Did he? And
Yes.
He didn't cut his hand open to compare the color of his blood to the cape. He didn't bring any gold with him.
That's true. There's no reference there.
Yeah. And here we go again. The orange is orange is orange. Yep. All right, sorry. And then we go to Cinderella at the tree. That was fine, I guess, but
Like,
I felt like that was like extra plot point that wasn't necessary.
No, I like it.
Yeah, I guess.
And she's got to get the dress comes from nowhere.
Oh yeah.
So like, the dress just like floats down.
But they like just mentioned so many other parts of the fairy tales that they could feel like they could have just been like, and then she got a dress.
No, you have to have a fairy godmother.
Yeah.
And so much of the show is about parents. And
Yeah.
so that
Yeah,
mother-daughter
okay.
relationship
Yeah, you got me
is
there.
really important. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I also wrote that I hate Jack in this. I just could not stand him.
Jack is the worst.
I could not stand him. And then this is the first time we see that the narrator is the old man, which maybe you didn't notice the first time, but this is the first time that we get a chance to notice.
Right.
So I'm going to need to take a minute to talk about Hello Little Girl.
Yeah,
that is a creepy fucking we're all on the same page. That song's straight up about rape, right? Like that's about him wanting to have sex with Little Red
Everyone
Riding Hood.
always tries to make it sexual. I don't think it's
is
sexual. I don't
tender
think
and
it's
fresh,
about sex.
not
I think
one lump. Yuck, 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 yuck.
Yeah.
And let me give you just one reason that
it's not.
There's no way that I could not have seen it as
it's
sexual.
He's talking about being like pinning her down, and there's one argument that it just sells this
And
entirely.
it may be the same argument that I have.
And it's the fact that the wolf has a penis. Yes. There's no way you can tell me that song is not about sex when the fucking wolf has a dick.
It's about like loss of innocence.
Whoa.
And like the realization,
Like a real dick,
some
too.
stuff is dangerous. It's
I
not
don't-
about
but
sex.
it's not. It's not though.
He's a wolf, he
creep
just wants
and
to
it's
eat
fucking
her.
Gross.
Again, with my one words, I wrote pedophile. Underline 3 times.
Ryan Anderson says pedophile.
Stamp it.
No. It's just about like growing up that like some stuff is gonna be dangerous.
It was just very uncomfortable.
Sure.
Yeah, it was
To
really,
watch,
really
I think.
Uncomfortable,
weird, and the dick was
yes.
just a lot.
And also the end of the song, he then just like does
Humps.
a big hump.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's staging. That's not
And-
writing.
He wants to have
And on
sex
top
with
of the
Will
wolf
Ryder.
penis being in plain sight at that point, it was
That's a great band name. Wolf Penis. Hello, we are Wolf Penis. Hello.
Of course, they're from Britain, I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
Yeah,
Both
that's
of you
right.
have agreed on that.
Hello. Thank you so much, Glasgow. Now they're in Scotland. Yeah, so that song's about sex. The wolf has a penis, so
I know.
that's super weird. This is where I start realizing that I really like the baker's wife.
Ah.
She's actually, I think her character is like deeply evil, but
No.
as an actress, she does an amazing job.
Amazing. Joanna Gleason's amazing.
Oh, I have a whole like crazy theory where like you guys are gonna want to commit me that I'll get into if we have time. So, I'm sure people have theorized this before, but like I detailed it out. Like it's a thing. It's a thing that I want to dig into. So yeah, but not right now. All right. So that's Hello Little Girl. And then we get into, I guess this is Goodbye, and then maybe they're magic about the beans, right? Oh, actually, we forgot one bit. That's so sad when Jack has to leave his cow. Like, that made me, like,
Yeah, his best
legitimately
friend.
very sad.
Poor baby.
yeah,
It's so
it's,
sad. I'll see you soon again. I hope that when I do, it won't be on a plate.
You know, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Oh, it was really, really sad. I was very
saddest.
moved. And the wife kind of saying, the baker's wife, like, yeah, maybe they are magic. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Which is, she's right. So
I love that she just like knows what she wants though, and I don't think she's evil. She just like knows what she wants and does like whatever she needs to get it.
well, yeah,
Right, and it's
yeah.
all about like she's like, well, whatever it takes, the end will justify it,
right.
type of thing, Exactly.
Justify the beans. Yeah, it's very sort of like addict personality, like drug addict personality, because she starts in control
Yeah.
and the husband's sort of uncertain, and then they both kind of dive in head first, and then they end up fighting because things get bad. So it's very it's a really weird, like, you see a very toxic relationship play out in front of you in the form of a children's tale, which is kind of interesting. Then we're in the house where the wolf is. Everything's happening so fast in the show, and like that's kind of cool. Like you move quick. The effect that they did in that with the scrim, I think is what it's called.
Yeah,
With the
that
house.
was really cool.
Yeah, where they turn the lights on in the house, and all of a sudden you can see in it. That was really cool. And then further proof that that is very much about the wolf taking her virginity. She says things like, "Teeth were bared. I got scared. Well, excited and scared.
Yeah, there
And
was
so-
that whole song
Yep.
too that
Yep.
like kind of played into
Drew me
like,
close, swaddled me down. Secrets that I never wanted to know." Yeah, that's
No.
about the wolf taking the Little Red's virginity, and there's no questions
it's
asked.
not.
No questions about it.
What
That's
are you
fact.
talking about? No, she is just like this is just a song about growing up. It's not like about rape or prostitution or anything like.
Katie, you're as naive as Little
No,
Red
it's
was
no.
before she
It's
got that wolf
larger
pee-pee.
metaphor than that. And it's just like larger metaphor than just old creeps want to bang you. So like,
Exactly, and part of growing up is going to Bone Zone.
yes, but like, you don't need to make it this like
And
traumatic.
it's also
experience
about
for
people
her.
who are like wanting to do you harm in like very
Sure,
gross ways.
It's about like learning that
So-
life can be dangerous, but I don't think that it's about rape.
That was the darkest to me. That it got dark to the end, but that was the darkest
I mean,
point
if
of
you're
this
right, then
entire show.
yes.
It skeeved me out in
Yeah,
a real
I
weird way.
just don't think it's sexual.
Giants in the Sky.
Giants favorite song.
So good.
Favorite song.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that song.
Big tall terrible giants. Yeah. It's great. It makes you feel good.
It's got like a good melody to it, and
Giants in the sky.
I think I've used it before. Well, I mean, I haven't auditioned for anything in years and years and years and years, but
when you did,
when I did, that was like a good go-to song. It fit my voice well,
Right.
so I like
this is why you're Jack.
had it like in the back of my mind as like a go-to, if I ever need to audition for anything. So
This is why you're Jack, no matter what.
yeah,
Just
apparently,
continuously. You're playing Jack is all I mean.
But yeah, no, I love that song. That song.
Yeah, there's some nice juxtapositions in there too, because he like gets pretty dark for a second. He's kind of singing really fast, and then it breaks back in.
Yeah, and it's like the play of like being afraid, and I think it almost goes into what Katie was saying with the like excited and scared, like how it's just a thing of like growing up too, like
yeah.
He goes from like things are scary, and then like but it was a cool experience kind of thing.
And then I'm sure I love the witch going up into the audience and breaking the third wall, the fourth wall.
Oh yeah,
the fourth meal, breaking the fourth meal. She broke right through.
When she cracks into that fourth meal.
You love Taco Bell.
Of course I do. Sponsor us, Taco Bell. Yukiro Taco Bell. But then we go into Agony. Katie, tell us about Agony because you love that song.
Best. I love it, and this is one of the things that the movie gets like really right. I think Agony is the best part of the movie, but it's just this like status game between these two jerks who are just like, no, I have it harder because I have this pretty girl. It's like, no, I have it harder because I have this prettier girl. It's so great. They're like busting their shirts open on the rocks. The song is like amazing. It's just like. Just if you've ever taken an acting class, it's just like a status game of like one-upping each other the whole entire time and like trying to reclaim status.
Yeah.
Like whose life is harder when it's like, no, you're just princes. Like your life isn't that hard.
Yeah, they are. If correct me if I'm using the phrase improperly. This is your favorite phrase. They are fuckboys.
Total fuckboys.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I figured. That is a fun song though, and I think that I'd like to dig into it or like listen to it again, but I guess I picked up on like this is one of the points where I thought Sondheim was kind of poking fun at fairy tales. There's a line where they say like, "If only there were doors" or something like that.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah.
And you're like, so yeah, this is Sondheim being like,
Yeah.
fairy tales are really dumb, but you know what? They have some value.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. This is where I sort of started to guess that the old man was the baker's dad because he helps him with the cow.
One of the things that like upsets me so much about the movie is they cut the father. He's like completely gone from the movie. It's so dumb.
What?
Yes.
That's like the
That's a
string
very
of the whole
Yes.
story.
Big
Yes,
thing.
it's like one of the major points of Into the Woods.
What?
Yes, it like makes me so angry.
The old man is like the spine of
That's-
the book. Like he pulls it all
Yes.
together.
He's what caused the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, but so it's your fault.
Yes, in the movie he's just like dead or something. He's just like gone. It's so dumb.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
See, I'm
really
gonna
dumb.
want to watch that now.
Let's
Just
watch it after
because,
this.
but- Yeah.
It Takes Two is next. It's when I think it reminds me a lot of the scene when Sweeney and Mrs. Lovett sort of decide that like they're gonna spend a life murdering bitches and like that's
like far less
their life.
extreme than that.
Yes, of course. But they're like they've
And
kind of
happier,
way
still,
happier.
I'm gonna say.
But they like are committing to doing some wrong,
Sure.
much less wrong, admittedly. But they're stealing some stuff.
Yeah.
And they're both kind of digging into like we're gonna do whatever it takes. We don't give a shit. Like they both kind of go a little bit insane during this song. That's when the baker kind of jumps in and says like, "All right, you know what? I'm diving in with you into this toxic
like it's a little
relationship."
wrong, but it's not putting people into pies.
Sure.
It's just like a nice
I'm not saying that they're
song.
inherently bad. I'm just saying they both are like committing to doing some shit to get
This
what
is
they
not,
want.
This is not doing some. No, they would not have baked people into pies for a child. They would not have done that. No,
I think they would have
no,
if given
it's
the
like about
opportunity.
two people
If it
falling
came
in
down
love
to it.
again.
Yes.
You're so cynical. You're making everything so dark. It's not two people like finding
Yeah,
each
I-
other.
Do you think Sondheim is
totally
that
agree with you there,
superficial?
Katie.
Do you think
In Act
Sondheim is
One,
that
yes, I
superficial
think
that
he
he's
is.
just doing a song about two people falling in love? No, that guy is a thinker
If the
and
song
a
were in
stinker.
Act 2, like maybe, but they're just meeting each other again in the woods. They're like re-falling in love. They're figuring out like why they're a good couple and like why they're together and like remembering why they love each other.
I don't know. I think I don't think so. I think he wanted you to read into that story,
You're
that song
like,
more.
reading into everything too much. It's too much, Daniel.
Yeah, they're both meeting on a plane of insanity, and then
No,
they spiral
they're
out
totally
of control.
rediscovering.
But then they fight the
other.
rest of the show. Like the rest of the show, they fight.
Yeah, I'm
I
backing
mean,
you up
Act
on this
2.
one.
All right, 2 points for me. -1 for you guys. Oh, fucking Jack. I'm sorry for our tender-eared listeners. I've sworn a lot in this episode, but I'm sorry. I'll do better next time. Jack literally says, "The most beautiful
I
tunes."
love that liquid you.
You kidding? You kidding me? You kidding me with that pronunciation?
You
Tunes.
love that liquid you.
But he also what do you call it? A
Tunes.
cheesy tea? A queso dipped tea? Tunes.
Queso tea, yeah.
So tea.
It's a liquid U and a queso tea.
It's a full meal.
Tunes.
So silly.
Yeah, we're on the steps of the palace. Yeah.
Love on the steps of the palace. Love it. I love this song so much just because like I think it's so relatable. And we'll talk about this later,
Yeah.
but she has all these different paths for her life and she doesn't know where exactly she wants to go, and two, like how the hell to get there. And there are so many different possibilities and so many different options, and she's feeling lost and she doesn't know what is the right thing to choose for her. And I totally relate to that. I wish sometimes just someone like would tell me what exactly the right thing to do was. And so I think it's so relatable and I love it. And like,
Yeah. I like to refute that is just about being at a crossroads in life, but I didn't write enough about it, so I guess I'll just have to take you at your word.
I mean, it's definitely that, but I think
Yeah,
it's more than that too.
Yeah.
It's just like figuring out.
I was just
who
trying
you
to figure
are.
out how I could think it was like seedy and gross in
It's
some way.
not everything seedy and gross, especially in Act 1. Yeah.
Yeah, just because I didn't dig in enough.
And also, the ending of The Steps of the Palace has 2 different versions of the ending of that song. And so one is just Cinderella ending it, and then one is where Little Red and Jack come in and like reiterate their like theses, their taglines in their songs at the end. And so
Yeah.
it makes me think that it's about more.
Mhm.
This supports my theory that Little Red's stuff is more than just about banging, because it's all about growing up. It's all about
I think her character
learning.
overall is more than that about that, but I'd just say those 2 songs are definitely about fuck.
no,
And probably like fucking in a way you don't want it.
no, they're just learning life
Banging.
lessons, and like part of that is banging, but part of it is not. They're all just like learning.
So here's, I forgot to mention this earlier when I was saying like the chaos of this. How many midnights does the baker have? 3? Is it
3.
30.
Okay. So the first, let's imagine the first midnight started the opening of the show ish. We're at about the second midnight here. Maybe we're still in the first midnight. How has Rapunzel had two babies and is now in the middle of the desert? How's that working?
There's no explanation.
That already happens in that time?
Yes, that happens in 2 days, or 1 day. No.
No one
This is
knows.
where Sondheim was like, I feel like he was like, wow, I wrote a fucking awesome show. Ooh, bit of a plot hole there. Yeah, I don't care. I think that's kind of where he was like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to fix it. This took a long time to write.
I think it's just they have to get through each story.
It's weird. There's no...
Yeah.
I never
no
like.
no
time
one's
for it.
weird.
Yeah.
I
Never
agree.
made that connection.
She has a child and somehow goes to the desert.
But like,
Yep.
time isn't real anyway.
Nothing. You guys got nothing.
No,
No,
I have
yeah.
nothing.
10 points to Gryffindor. That's kind of why I'm, in all sincerity, I really, I don't know. I'm obviously probably gonna have like 1,000 people shouting at me, but I think Sondheim was making fun of musicals in a
No.
like a lighthearted, fun way. But like, look, I'm gonna write this musical, and you guys are gonna love it, and it's not gonna have time is not gonna be an aspect of the show, and you guys are not gonna care because musicals are kind of dumb.
No, I don't think he's.
Yeah, I
making
wouldn't say
fun.
making
I think
fun.
it's just you suspect your disbelief. It's like, it's not musical specific. It's just like storytelling in general, and time isn't like real anyway.
Katie, can I pause you for a second? Did you just say that time isn't real?
Not like linear time, like no.
In real
like
life
how
or
we-
in musicals?
Well, in musicals, yes, but also like linear time, like how we think of it. Time isn't like how we understand
I'm
it.
sorry, listeners. We have a real metaphysical breakdown here.
It's like in Doctor Who when they talk about it. It's like everything.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. I thought that I can be on board with. I thought you were having a stroke here and thought that time was like a made up thing, like the economy.
No, like how we
or
think of time as a
citizenship.
made up thing.
Okay. All right. We're getting real metaphysical here on the music.
We are.
It's not like
Katie's been getting dirty with the self-help books,
just science.
rubbing
It's
all up
just
those self-help books.
Science. It's like in Doctor Who.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic show. That's a show. I don't want to talk
No.
about Waterworld anymore, but we'll
Westworld.
talk about Doctor Who. We did.
Yeah.
They were cutting the heels off. Yuck.
Yeah, which and again, and then just a plot hole with the Cinderella story in the first place. Like, if you were meeting this woman every night,
You just
you would just know what she looked like, right?
You're not her. I see because I have eyeballs. I can
Yeah.
see with my own
Right.
eyes.
Like, I'm gonna stop you right there. No need to cut off your heel.
Don't worry about it because
You're not the one.
I can see you're a different human.
Yes.
A different human.
Yeah,
I
I'd
don't-
be pissed. I'd be
Yeah,
pissed
you're
if
right.
it was like
Yeah.
you claim to love me and you don't even recognize me at all. You don't know who I am.
You're taking it like from
Yeah.
a love perspective. Ryan and I are just like, how dumb do you
like-
have to be?
Right? Yeah. Like,
You're. I also agree with you, Katie, but it's
like
Also,
because
you're a
he's
dummy.
seen her multiple nights. Like, so the second time he saw her, like, did he recognize her at all to say like, "Hey, remember last time?"
Right,
or
which
were you like,
That he's
yeah.
a fuckboy.
which means he's
Yes.
a fuckboy because he doesn't remember. He's just like, yeah, I
Yes,
liked her. She was a piece of ass.
Just one of many women. They all look the same to me. I don't.
Right.
right? Yeah.
So-
This is a red flag number one.
like, no, you have blonde hair and look nothing like the girl that I was with. Please keep your
There's no
heel.
need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also
Right.
like in the original story.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
right.
yeah.
For
That's-
sure. For
that's
sure.
what
But that's
Ryan
what I,
was
yeah. I
saying.
was like plot
Yeah, that's in
hole
the
in
original
just that
story.
original story.
Like you're taking up a bone with
Yeah.
with the Brothers Grimm.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you, and I'll back you up on that. Let's call them up. Those guys are dead. So we're in the first song of, and we can skip back a little. We're in the first song of second act, and the baker goes over to Jack's house, and Jack says, "It's the butcher."
No.
And then
Yeah.
the baker goes, "The baker." Do you think that was a mistake?
No.
I think it was. I don't
No,
think that
not
was
at
written
all.
in. How? Why would that be?
No, it's supposed because he's bringing the cow over, and so it's supposed to be a play like, "Oh, we're taking the cow."
Oh.
He's like visiting the baker, and that's why he's like, "Baker." That definitely was not like just.
I
an
want it to be a
actual-
mistake. I really want it to be a mistake. It's the butcher. It's the mailman.
Yeah,
No. All right. You
just
got
a
me.
joke
though.
thrown in there.
All right. Point for Ryan.
Jeez.
God, that hair that Jack's got. Can we talk about that
Fresh cut.
hair? Ooh, it looks like a Chucky doll.
Fresh cut.
Hot hair. Oh, there's a funny line. The giant comes and they say, "We should tell someone." The witch is like, "Who are you gonna tell?" She
Yeah.
says it exactly
Yeah.
like that. Like, who are you gonna tell?
I love the comedy like thrown in
Yeah, it is
throughout.
cool.
Like
yeah.
it's very like I don't know. It's a certain type of comedy. You
Yeah.
know, it's not it's not.
No, I think it
blatant.
just.
And well, it's also like comedy for comedy's sake. Like it
Right.
doesn't carry the plot along. It's just like we're gonna do a couple
Yeah.
goofs. You cool with
Well,
that?
it makes them real people. It makes them like real 3D characters. Like no matter how hard life gets, there's always something funny, no matter what.
Sure.
In real life, and so I think it shows that
Yeah.
they're real people with a full range of emotions, and they're 3D, and they're not just.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That they have like even in the dark times they
Yeah.
can have funny
Yeah,
moments.
like the
Yeah.
jokes just make it like these aren't story book characters are real life humans.
Right. Which is definitely a cool thing that I think happens in Sondheim shows so far that doesn't necessarily happen in other shows. So.
Yeah, exactly.
So, maybe it's just a part of my my Musa Noob transition, but every time around this, like we're like an hour 45 minutes into a musical, and I'm just kind of like, I'm good, like I'm cool. Can we just end it here?
Well, and I think that like this show specifically, like the way that the first act ends, like you could not watch the second act and that could be the end.
Yeah, pretty much.
So like it almost seems like you're starting a new
right
show entirely.
I think that added to it. I was like, okay,
it's
we
like
got another musical to watch.
It's like if you're trilogizing a film and you like get done with the first one and you put the second one in, and you're like, okay, I'm in for another of this. The whole thing, okay.
What were you saying, Katie?
Where I went to school, they did Into the Woods the year before I got there, and I was a freshman in college at some frat party, and I was hanging out with these sorority girls, and they were talking. I said I was in theater, and they're like, "Oh, we loved Into the Woods. We went and saw it, but." We wanted to leave after the first. We should have left after the first act because it was such a happier ending, and that's just what we wanted.
And you were like, "You basic
you guys
theater
are
bitches,
such little sweeties." I love it.
They also probably turned off Sound of Music after the wedding.
Very proud of you.
God, what a musical joke I just made.
You're such a music nerd.
I'm pretty proud of myself for that one.
Oh gosh, those girls were so cute.
All right, then we get to the Agony Reprise, which, that giant voice. I feel like they could have done more of that. Like made it like deep or something. Like they did a little echo.
Sound like a giant.
Like in any way, sound like a large thing.
No, I mean they did. Like they changed it for sure, but like
they just made it sound like a demon.
Yeah, I would say it was more of a demon sound than a large human, but.
Katie, you don't have a point. You don't have any.
I don't know. The giant just kind of like bums me out anyway. So I like the voice, whatever. I don't know. Like there's enough conflict in the musical, and I don't know. You need an external thing, but I don't think the giant's necessary. Like there's already enough bad shit going on.
The giant or the voice? Yeah.
Bad stuff. Sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the source of all the negativity.
Yeah, I mean respect. But I think everything that happened would have happened without this external.
Oh,
conflict.
yeah. Yeah, I guess. I think though they needed a thing to for me at least, and I agree with you, but I think that they needed a thing to all get mad about.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
immediately.
Right. Yeah.
And then exactly. Then it brought out everything out of the woodwork.
Yeah. So. For sure. You're so wise, Daniel.
Yep. I know.
And I think also kind of like a work together, teamwork kind of thing.
Yeah, because it ends up being the reason why some of them do anything good this whole show.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Like they come together and decide to be like family. So yeah. I love that they sacrifice the narrator because it's to me it's like the storybook characters realizing that they're storybook characters for a minute.
I love that because they break the third wall before, like you said.
The fourth meal.
Fourth meal, yeah. And when they sit down for fourth meal the second time with the narrator, I just think it's because that's like almost so separate. Like that's its own. Yeah. You never expect that interaction to happen.
Right. Yeah.
Like interacting with the audience, but for some reason that just seemed like not. I don't know. To me, at least,
it's not even like the fourth meal. It's like a different. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
We get a lot of deaths in this. So we got Rapunzel gets stepped on, and then Jack's mom,
the narrator,
and Rapunzel
Jack's
lives
mom
in the
gets,
movie, which is true.
And also, the choice of her to just stay standing when she died.
It was real weird. Maybe.
Yeah, I was like, okay. I mean, the track was cool. Like it kind of like wheeled her off on the little like treadmill thing that they had.
Maybe it's to imply that she didn't die. I don't know. It's there. There's nothing there.
Yeah, it's
the end of that thread.
Yeah. I don't know.
She definitely died. What else? Sondheim being a wordsmith again in Moments in the Wood.
Oh my god, my Twitter bio is from Moments in the Woods. Love that song.
What is?
Best to take the moment present as a present for the moment.
Again,
He's so
Sondheim
good.
just
So good.
So good.
So good. Sondheim.
spinning yarns.
Spinning yarns.
This is in this scene. It's when like the world they're in becomes Sodom and Gomorrah to me. It's like
I know.
it's or as Kenneth from 30 Rock would say, sex criminal boat. It's just like we've reverted to just murder and
Well, they all
boning
think they're gonna
freely.
die.
Like that's what they're doing. Yeah, which I don't blame them. Jack did it as an amazing Christopher Walken impression. It's do yourselves a favor. It's at 1 hour 58 and 38 seconds. And Jack goes,
You really pegged this.
I buried her in a footprint. Like,
Oh, I do
Footprint.
remember that part. I buried her
Yes.
in a footprint.
you're Jack. That is exactly how it sounds. Like our audience members, our listeners think we just played that clip. That was just Ryan, guys.
Very good. Very talented.
So it's your fault. That's a fun song. It drives me. It's really like
Yeah,
annoying.
I said second favorite song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
out of the show for sure.
I like that Sondheim to me like purposely made it like it's kind of like clench your butt cheeks annoying. Like you're like, oh god, the song.
Well, and it's just like chaos at its max.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
everyone is, and in the end, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter
Yeah.
whose fault is it, and that's what the witch
Yeah,
ends up,
exactly.
you know,
Right.
saying. But yeah, I just love the like, and there's a lot of wordplay in that too.
yeah, yeah.
Which is great, and I didn't write down any specific
But-
lines, of course, but
Listen to the song and you'll
Yeah.
hear it. Right.
but yeah, and I just love the like the back and forth, the like super fast tempo,
Right.
and
how it gets crazy chaotic and comes back. The only moment that it's not chaotic is that. So it's your fault. And then they're like, but you did this, you did this, you did this, so it's your fault.
yeah,
and then Last Midnight comes in to slap you in the face to remind you
Yes.
that this has only been 3 days.
So good.
Yeah.
Love it.
Like, guys, this show's about over, and we haven't resolved any of these things we've unraveled. is pretty much what she's
It's
saying.
in the fan. I know. It goes with this like theme of the show, which is like nice is different than good, and she's like, you're not good, you're not bad, you're just nice. And I love that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, right. Which I think is a cool. I think it's while I definitely agree with you that I was talking away from the mic. I definitely agree with you that this is a lot. That, like the overall point of this show is that we grow into adults and we have kids and we try to and we consciously think about ways we want the kids to be better, but the things we're doing is what they're actually learning from, not the things we're saying. Which I think that's a great. That's sort of indicative of that. Like, nice is different than good because you can be nice, or you can like say things. You can tell your kids. It's that classic adage, like do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, like evil people.
Right, but
can
the
be
things that are
nice.
being paid attention to are the things that you do, and that's what good is.
Yeah.
Right, I would say like good is what you are when you're not thinking about it. Nice is what you are when you are thinking about it, and so that's like
Yeah.
commentary on, like you can't just pretend to be a good role model for the future generations. You actually have to be one.
other motives as well, like nice being good. Like you can be nice and still have, you know, your background like
Right,
motives to do. You know,
Yes.
you've got your own agenda type of thing.
Well, and all of the sorry.
Well, and then good just being, you know, wholeheartedly doing it for the right reasons. you know?
Exactly. And all of these characters are nice, not good for most of the show, maybe until the end. So Last Midnight and then No More, right?
No more. It's my favorite. The movie Cut It. The movie Cut It.
They
The
cut
movie Cut It?
that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, but that's such
He's
a
such an
like
important
turning
character.
point.
And it's
And
such
for
an important song.
For some reason, without even like, I didn't even know what it was from. I constantly get they disappoint, they disappear, they die, but they don't stuck in my head. I didn't even know what it was from until I like watched this thing. I'm sure if I thought about it, I probably did, but like, And I knew it as he was singing it. They disappoint, they
So
disappear,
good.
they die, but they don't.
It's so good.
So good.
I sing it a lot when I'm upset in the shower. I'm like, can't we just pursue our lives with our children and our wives? It's like such a good song to sing when you're frustrated.
You can talk to birds.
Loved that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Again, sort of breaking the. It's cool. It's cool because you're in different books, and in these different books and in these different universes, you can and can't talk. Like there are ways in which it's like it is Earth and it's not Earth. And so,
Right, because she just got done talking to
To
the
a
wolf.
wolf, right.
Yeah, just perfectly fine.
Yep. Yeah, it's good.
I love that they play her off
She
as
pulls out
like
this huge knife.
she's like Little Red Riding Hood, like the innocent, but she's the most like sarcastic.
She's sassy.
Like
She's a little sass riding hood.
she's the one that like
No,
when,
exactly. She pulls a knife out.
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. Oh, don't worry. That's getting into my theory.
yeah,
And she wears the wolf hide. As her
yeah.
new
She's got
cape.
that. She's the one that like tries to get obviously
So
Jack to go
badass.
back up, but does it in the sarcastic way, like to the audience, where she's like, sure,
Yeah.
it's a sure you got it from a giant in the sky
Right.
type of thing.
Like goading him into it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's her fault. So it's your fault. They say that in that too.
But it doesn't matter.
So here's something fun. You're about to. Let me ask you guys this: if you had to tell someone that their mom had died, would you do it right before they're about to try to murder a giant? Because I know I would
In a
choose
tree?
a different.
Maybe. But I would, yeah, because then you're so mad.
Yeah, all
that
right,
she's
you're
dead
right.
that
But
you
I feel like
wanna
if someone told me
kill.
that my mom had died, I'd be like, that's all I can think about right now. I don't
Right.
care about this giant.
Right.
I'd be like revenge first.
All right, well, let me
and
kill a
then
bitch and
be
then I'll think about
devastated.
it.
But it wasn't even the
Yeah.
giant that killed her. It was the
Right.
yeah.
Which is what it.
No, for
There's
sure.
like
Yeah.
an eye for an eye leaves everyone blind sort of like undertone here. Like you can't kill him because then you're the same as him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. No One Is Alone is a nice song. It's a very it's like a lullaby.
It's an amazing song. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I love that they changed. This is the very last song that we're talking about now, or no?
Well, I would the only thing I
No,
was gonna say
before.
about
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
never
yeah.
mind, never mind.
It's
yeah
right
the only thing I was
before,
gonna
yeah.
say about No One Is Alone is they say, remember, don't tell her our plan. Yeah, you know what? I wasn't gonna tell the giant our plan to murder her. I love that line. Oh, and then Jack being a big old dummy again. I have no one to take care of me. You're like, I mean, based on time, I'm gonna say you're 45. The way that time works in this show. So.
45
like-
3 days later.
Yeah,
One
exactly.
of the things in the movie that makes me so sad is when Cinderella and Little Red are talking to each other in this song, and they're like singing about how awful things are, and Cinderella no, Little Red, Cinderella is like, I wish, and Cinderella's like, I know, and it's like such a beautiful part. It sticks with me so much, and they spoke it in the movie instead of singing it, and it's just like, you're in a musical, your emotions couldn't be higher right now. Like, all of these given circumstances, like, you need to sing this. It's just like, it brings it all back. It's saying, like, adults are just as confused as kids are.
Mhm.
Like, the kid is like, I wish, like, please help me fix it, and the adult is like, I know, like, I know what you're feeling. I feel the exact same way. I have no answers either. Like, everyone's just as lost as everybody else. I like so much of that show was culminated in that
Yeah.
one moment, and I was like, you guys need to sing this.
Right.
You're not. It's
Right.
so
It's like-
heightened.
It's like 99% of people's movement from adolescence to adulthood. It's like, wow, this
Yeah,
sucks.
it's a huge part
This
of
is not
growing
what I
up.
expected
Is
this was supposed to
realizing
be
that
like.
no one has any answers at
Right.
all.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and that's just sort of like defeated. They
crucial
kind of
moment in the
defeated,
show,
but
in my
accepting it
opinion.
in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crucial, and
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, that's dumb. That's really dumb. Yeah. Then they kill the giant, and
Yes.
and they all decide they're gonna live together, which is a little bit weird because like the baker is the only one like old enough to be a parent, and so now he has to take care of three
Kind of
doofuses.
Cinderella. Kind of
Yeah, she's a
Cinderella.
little bit older.
Right.
Well, they're all 150 years old at this point. So
Yeah, you're right. Time is real.
yeah, and then that's pretty much it. They do their bows, right? Are we missing anything?
No, we have the finale song. The whole finale.
Oh
People
yeah,
will
of course.
listen.
That's the
Mhm.
finale. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that to me is like what is Sondheim's basically, like I keep saying, it's like fairy tales are dumb, but this is a fairy tale, and the moral of it is this.
And I like before, I mean, when she sings that song earlier to Rapunzel, and it's you should have listened,
Right.
children should listen, and then they switch the lyrics
Right.
to
Yeah.
children will listen. I think that's cool.
Yeah, and it's another like strong indicator that this is really a lot about parenting and like being a good example
it's all about
versus
parenting.
Right.
trying to be a good example. But then
Yeah.
it's also about like sex and murder. I smell sex and murder. Yeah. Sondheim continues to deliver as a real genius after this and Sweeney. 'Cause Sweeney was also brilliant.
Yeah.
I think this was
He's
way
just-
more brilliant. This was way more his
So
best. Like
amazing.
seemingly between the two, his better production, like his better written
It's so
production.
cool.
but
It's just
still
smart.
both were very cool. It's a tough story to tell, and he does a good job. He bit off a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, weaving all the
onto
stuff
my
together
theory
is
really
just
quickly.
So impressive.
I have a theory
gosh,
here, and
theory
I'm
time.
still figuring it out. If there's any listeners at home who want to help me with this theory, I'm pretty darn close. Every main character, even some of these like slightly secondary characters, at some point in the show, they all transition, and they go through all 7 of the deadly sins, every single one of them, and I've mapped it out, and I will read them to you.
Wow, you did some
I
work.
did.
Ooh,
They
cool.
all go through, and I think that the sort of, I don't think that this is necessarily religious, but I think Sondheim, I don't know, maybe it's even just from the Brothers Grimm, but each character exhibits behaviors of each of the 7 deadly sins, and then they either die or they improve, and I think that's really what sort of is the main message here is everybody is inherently evil, and you can either get better or you can die, and that's what I think it's all about. That's my theory. I'll just read a few. Jack,
Yeah.
lust, all he wanted was a friend. Gluttony,
I'm
he went
into
up
it.
and got more gold. Greed, he wanted more. He wanted even more gold from the guy. He wanted it. He didn't just get it. Sloth, he got bored after he had everything he needed. Wrath, he killed the giant and he wanted to kill the bailiff or whatever the hell. Envy, he was jealous of people who had friends. Pride, he wanted to go deliver his own justice to the bailiff. Next, let's do Prince Charming.
Yeah.
Lust, he wanted to bone everything. Gluttony, he wanted to bone everything.
Yeah.
Greed, his goal was to bone
Yeah.
everything. Sloth, instead of like actually helping anybody, he just boned everything. Wrath, he always wanted to kill things like the giant and the wolf, but he never did. Envy, the brothers were always jealous of one another. Pride, they thought they were too good for having one wife. I've got all the characters, every one of them mapped
love
out
it.
with the things that they did to exhibit the 7 deadly sins, and that's my theory.
This is smart.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes!
I'm
It's a
into
fun
it. You're
list.
right.
It was a lot of fun to kind of think back through and figure out why they represent that. And I think that's Sondheim's point. It's everyone is bad. You can either become good, or actually no. I would say take it further. You are in either there is enough inherent good in you to improve, or you continue to be evil and you die. Nice or good.
I love it.
Boom.
Nice or good. Boom.
There we go. If any listeners want to see my list, just let me know. Drop us a line at themusipals@gmail.com or tweet us, or Facebook us. I'll send you my list. It's full. I've got the baker, the baker's wife, Little Red, Jack, Cinderella, Prince Charming, and the witch. So
Wow. Good work.
Yeah, thanks. I did love there's a weird reason why I'm digging into like the theories of the show. I didn't even think I would do it. I don't know. I just like there's something in this. There's something here underlying.
Well, it's not very face value show.
No,
There's
it's not.
so many
Yeah.
deep themes to it, you
Right.
know.
You try to take it at this face value and you're just gonna I don't get it. Like I don't understand that show. So
Welcome back to MusiPals.
Whoa, terrifying.
Pals, I discovered that I can do a new voice, and this is the voice that we decided the giant is gonna be.
It's so scary.
V505.
Stop.
Oh God, I stepped on gum.
You're gonna give me nightmares.
It's
I
all
can't.
right.
It's like,
Which the giant never said fee fi fo fum.
No, he didn't,
Not
and
one
he
time.
could have. He could have.
it's a woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is a way better voice.
Really stop it. Like, really stop it. Really.
Pals, I think if anyone can hit us up on Twitter, let me know if you want me to do that voice from now on.
No one does.
MusiPals. What did you think of the MusiPals?
That is the voice of the devil. That is the evilest voice
Yeah.
I have ever experienced.
I don't know how I'm doing it. It's terrifying me. All right. So, pals, Ryan, Katie, you're the pals I'm referring to.
Oh, okay.
Where should we start? We have 4 things to talk about. We have hashtag that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Let me say that again. We have.
Hashtag that.
We have.
Once you pop the show tune, don't stop.
It makes me. It creeps me out that you guys aren't laughing anymore because now I just feel uncomfortable.
It's really scary.
Okay, we have hashtag that. We have who do you relate to? We have once you pop the show, tune don't stop, and then we have our rating, our scales rating, and of course, as always with MusiPals, Ryan, you get to pick.
All right.
Ooh, let's do once you pop. Once you pop,
Ooh.
the show tune don't stop.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Once you pop the show, tune don't stop.
It'll line up.
It's perfect. Yeah,
It's perfect for me. I don't know. It sounds good over here.
Yeah, it's so good that every time it's perfect for you. All right, cool. So, just a reminder for us: we've gone through the whole show. So, Katie, do you want to explain once you pop the show, tune don't stop, in case we have some new listeners? Since this is our first show on the Arcade. The Arcade Audio Network. Perhaps we have some new listeners.
You're right. So we do segments at the end of every episode after we've gone through scene by scene and talked about the whole musical. We do little games and bits at the end, and so this one is we take a show tune that exists from the musical that we're talking about, and we replace it with a pop song that is similar in feel, or the words are similar, or just it gives us the vibe of the character, something like that.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
my favorite. It's my second favorite game we play. I think hashtag that's my favorite, but we'll get to it. All right, so we go around the horn. We do all 3. Who wants to start? Ryan, you want to start, or you want someone else to start?
Someone else can start.
Okay, Katie,
I'll
Ryan.
start. I'm ready for it.
Take it away.
I feel good about it. So, you are replacing the Agony reprise. I'm gonna replace the first Agony.
Ooh, that's amazing.
With I'm Too Sexy.
Oh, that's good.
I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts. I'm too sexy.
Too sexy for that song.
Yeah.
Too sexy for my...
Too scary. But I feel like that's just the subtext of everything. It's like, oh, I'm too hot. I have all these problems.
I'm too good looking.
Oh, no.
I'm too sexy for my shirt. I'm too sexy for my wife.
I'm
is
too,
really
yeah,
what
I'm
it's
too
about.
sexy to be like having any of these qualms.
That's right. Then the 7 deadly sin of lust.
Uh-oh.
Or pride. Pride. Sorry, pride.
Probably
There you
like
go.
both, though.
Yeah, probably. Because, well, it's pride that leads to banging. Not
To bang.
Bye.
to bunging. Nice, I
Bunging
like
is
it.
gross. Thank you.
That is a very, very gross
Bunging
word.
is a gross word.
We were bunging all night.
Nope.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay.
I like it, and I also really like that song being spliced into the show because it adds a whole new angle.
Whole new point of view. Yeah.
I'm too sexy for my. Nice, very nice. Ryan, you want to go last or you want to go next?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll go.
It's your game. You get to choose the order.
So, not in place of It Takes Two, but then when the baker's wife dies, as almost a reprise, when it is then just the baker and his son.
Okay, wait, not the baker and his dad?
No, the baker and his son, because now he's
got the
son.
kid. Yeah. Okay, yep, and he's real sad. He just found out she died, right?
Right.
Okay.
The fantastic Will Smith hit from Big Willie Style, Just the Two of Us.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Building castles in the sky. It's perfect.
Yeah.
They're going to climb the vine. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us.
Yeah, you and I.
You and I.
You nailed it. That's great. Very nicely done. All right, so I was very excited about mine. I did a few as I was kind of going through. Like, let's see. Let me see if I can find a few of them really quick. They're not good, but one it really spoke to me because it's one of my favorite songs of all time. So in Agony, they do this bit, and I love it, and I might splice it into the show as well, where he goes like, the one prince says I couldn't poke through the thorns, and the other prince goes, because of your blood thing. And he says that, yeah, it's yes. And then the other prince goes, it's pretty weird. And the other prince goes, it's not as weird as your dwarves thing. And they go back and forth for a minute. And then one of them, let me find exactly what he says. Oh, yeah, he just went, dwarves are very upsetting.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And so I wanted to just scrap that whole song, everything, and replace it with Randy Newman.
And I can't believe, like, how is that a real song?
What?
That's a real
real
song
song
that, like, gained popularity.
That's
well,
a real
so
song?
Yeah, it's all about, like, your tiny little fingers
What?
and your beady little eyes. Walking around telling great big lies.
What?
Yeah, it's just really picking apart
It's a great song.
short people piece by piece.
Yeah. So
I'm so offended.
well, so I looked
How
up.
could Randy Newman do this?
I looked up that song, and it's because apparently at the time there was like a whole lot of prejudice against short people, like against little people, like actual little people, like
Well, I feel
medically.
like, through all of history, sure.
Yeah, and so
but-
it's actually like the bridge proves that song is just like commentary on how people are super
So it's more of
shitty
a,
to
like,
short people.
satire type of
Yeah,
thing than it
he's
is.
just goofing. He doesn't actually think that.
Oh my gosh. Oh boy.
But man, can you imagine the princes up there singing a Randy Newman song? Ugh. Dwarves are very upsetting. Which is of course not true because
This is
the
of
best-
course offensive in and of itself.
yeah, it's of course not true, but splicing that song in, maybe it would have been better.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Well, I don't remember what I was going to say. But yeah, so that's my Once You Pop the Show Tune Don't Stop. We did that fast. We never do that fast. That was good.
It was fast.
Nice work.
Yeah.
All right. Katie, you went first, so you get to pick next. I make up the rules every time we go, I think. So.
Yeah, it's different. It's different rules.
Yeah, that's what keeps
But
you
I
on
like
your
it.
toes.
I like it. Keeps it fresh.
Keeps you on your toes.
Yeah. Let's hashtag it.
Oh man, we're doing the best two games right in a row. Dig it.
Best two.
Dig it.
Dig it. I'll go first if you guys don't mind.
Okay.
Mine's just there's a lot that could happen, but it's again related to Agony. I told you that the Agony reprise
The
inspired.
reprise, specifically.
Yeah.
Love it.
So my hashtag is #that's my thing. what's your thing? Like, blood is his
That
thing.
scares you?
Oh.
Dwarves are his thing.
Fish.
So, what's that?
Fish.
Fish.
Fish
Fish.
freak me out.
Fish, that's my thing.
The tweet says, fish, period. That's my thing.
It's just fish. They are so scary.
Sticky hands. That's my thing. I hate it. I hate where I got
Ooh.
sticky fingers. Oh, I just think about
When
it.
do you
makes me wanna
have
die.
sticky
Sticky
fingers?
How often do you get sticky
Oh,
fingers?
all the time you're putting a peanut butter and jelly sandwich together. You're so excited. And you look down. You're
You are
covered in
too
jelly.
messy.
Ah, gross. I mean, I can't breathe when I got sticky fingers, but that's
You gotta be neater,
well.
I think.
Yeah. Good luck with that. You're talking about fundamental flaws here. I'm just talking sticky
I'm
fingers.
just talking. I get a case of the sticky fingers now and then.
A real case of the sticky fingies. Ryan, you don't have to, but what do you got? If you want.
Oh, my hashtag?
Yeah, you don't. No, your tweet for that's a hashtag.
Oh, that's my thing?
You don't have to. If you don't.
Probably like the nasty, like, I hate doing dishes because of like, if you don't rinse a plate and there's like shit stuck on it,
Yeah.
that's my thing.
Okay, I can also say from
That's an extremely like long. I don't know if that fits in 160 characters.
We've got the character limit. I can say
Oh
from
my
living
gosh.
with Ryan too, eating peanut butter out of the jar and leaving the peanut butter spoon in the sink. That's my thing.
That's your thing.
You should just do that all the time, and we get hardened peanut butter on the spoon.
A little extra crunch. Never
Leave-
hurt anyone.
Leaving cupboards open. That's my thing.
That is my thing. Yeah.
Ryan needs to just seemingly walk around the apartment, opening cupboards and then leaving.
Just
the
air
room.
them out. Just air them out.
It's awful.
stale in there.
I can't stand that. Alex does that all the time.
It's
In our
awful.
house, he'll just like leave the cabinets open for seemingly no reason.
Close
He gets
them.
it. He gets it. You gotta air those babies
He
out.
didn't even like grab anything from it. He just like looked inside and then left.
All those plates are suffocating in there. Let them breathe.
Doesn't make sense.
Oh, suffocating plates. That's my thing. Oh, all right. Who else? How about we'll finish with Katie since we'll just do
Okay.
you second again.
Okay.
You'll be
Okay.
second again. Is what I mean.
My hashtag was throughout. Jack was just missing the mark in many.
Yeah, he's a big
many
dum-dum.
cases.
Yeah.
So mine was hashtag that's not a fact, Jack.
Ooh, I love it.
And for example, Joanna Gleason is the woman from Step Brothers.
That's not a
Hashtag
fact.
that's not a fact, Jack.
That's a good. That's a fantastic one.
It's not.
Jokes about Linkin Park on the day of his death are a good idea. Hashtag that's not a fact, Jack.
Oh my gosh. Still in poor
Yeah,
taste.
still in poor taste.
I'm rectifying my mistake.
Are you though? Because you're
Yes.
making it a joke still.
But this is a tasteful joke.
Is it? Is it, Daniel?
Yeah, it is. Stephen Sondheim loves musicals. Hashtag that's not a fact, Jack. He hates
That-
them. That's what I determined.
He loves them.
No.
This musical is about sexual assault. That's not a
That
fact.
is a
Dan.
fact. This musical is not about sexual assault. Hashtag that's not a fact, Jack.
We're just gonna fight.
You're gonna have
We're gonna
a
fight.
triple negative in there. Donald Trump is an amazing president. Hashtag that's not a fact, Jack.
That is not a fact. Jack.
That is not a fact, Jack.
The princes are good husbands. That's not a
There you
fact,
go.
Jack.
Yeah.
princes
Seeing
are
a
good
wolf penis
husbands?
on
That's
stage
not a
is
fact.
enjoyable. Hashtag that's not a fact, Jack. I don't want to see that dongle floating around. That's weird. Ryan played Jack in the high school version of this. Hashtag that's not a fact, Jack.
Yeah, that's not a fact.
Not a fact. I made that up. King and I is not a racist musical if played by white people. Hashtag that's not a fact, Jack. It's very racist. All right. That was a good one. I
That's
like it. I
not a
like it a
fact.
lot.
Good, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Very racist.
Good. I'm glad for you.
That's not a fact, Jack.
Good.
You sad?
Mine might
Okay,
be a little too cerebral, but we're going for it. We're going for it. So you know how the princes have new wives at the end of the show?
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah,
and
they
Snow
have,
White and Sleeping
Snow White.
Beauty.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah, yeah,
curious what they're thinking, you know? So I did a hashtag Second Wives Club for them.
Okay.
And I'm just
Oh.
curious, like, how they feel.
Yeah. My Prince Charming seems to leave on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Hashtag second wives club. He always comes home drained of. No, I'm not going there. God, gross. I was gonna go.
I'm not sure what you're gonna see was drained
I was
of.
gonna go semen, of
It's
course.
always about bunging with you.
Bunging. I'm always. My Prince Charming never wants to bung. Hashtag second wives club. Did you have any? Did you come up with any?
No, I just want to, like, you know, I'm just curious.
It's almost
Yeah.
more to just bring it up the topic. It seems.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Really
just,
was.
like, want
Can
to,
we
you
just
know,
talk
chat
about
with
it?
you
Can we
guys.
just talk about the fact?
What's going
Did
on with
they-
Snow White?
yeah, immediately got
Second
Second
Wives
Wives.
Club. Ryan, you wanna dabble? Or you wanna lit?
I don't know. I don't have anything good. I don't
Come
have
up,
anything
come up
good.
with something on the fly. No.
Yeah,
No,
you know,
I
like,
don't
my
have it.
husband made me get rid of all my dwarves.
There you go. Second Wives
Second
Club.
Wives Club.
Second Wives Club.
I can never get my husband to go to Bed Bath and Beyond with me. Hashtag Second Wives Club. Especially Sleeping Beauty.
Especially, she's been
I don't
sleeping
know
for
why.
too long. She
She
doesn't want
already-
to,
she
she doesn't
doesn't
want
need
to
another bed.
anymore, you know?
He's nervous. He's like, sweetheart, if I take you there, first of all, my first wife might see us, and second of all, you might fall asleep again forever.
Forever.
Forever. It's a good excuse. Hashtag or no, not hashtag. Prince Charming won't let me look through his text messages. Hashtag Second Wives
Second
Club.
Wives Club. Through his scrolls.
His scroll. His text scrolls.
His private scrolls. It's a collection of his many thoughts.
Prince Charming has a very specific idea about our threesomes. Hashtag Second Wives Club. He wants to bang both of his wives at once. Yeah, specific ideas.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
All right, Ryan, who do you relate to?
Who do I relate to? So I know you want me to say Jack.
Yeah, well, that's not a fact, Jack.
But yeah, I can tell the difference between a male and a female.
Can you?
And I
you
would
sure?
not sell a cow for about 4 beans.
See, now I would.
So I would say, the baker actually.
Okay.
That's what I would go with.
All
Because
right.
he's kind of like, when he finds out about the news that he can change something, he's like trying to do it. And he's like, no,
Yeah.
I got it. And then he later finds it like, oh, you know, it's okay to like get some help on some things. You don't have to do it all
There you go.
yourself, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like I fall into that a lot of times. Like I'm like trying to run around and do it all myself, and they're like, you know what?
There you go.
It's okay to get some help. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
well,
lovely.
You'd think you would have learned that in
Yeah.
your self-help books, but
Yeah, you know, and that's where those come in.
that is very accurate because your personality is very like, I'm not so sure about this thing at first, but then someone convinces you a little more. You're like, all right, I'm in this, and then you're like, I'm doing this by myself now.
Yeah.
It's kind of your thing. Yeah.
So
Good
yeah,
one.
So that was that.
Katie, what you got?
I talked about it a little bit already when we were doing the play-by-play, but I think Cinderella. I've
You always pick like the the best person, you know?
Well, are you saying I'm a bad person? Daniel?
Yeah, you're fucking awful, and you're picking the best. No, I'm just kidding.
That sucks for me. When
So why?
just the not knowing where exactly your life should go and what you want it to look like exactly, and feeling like you have all these different paths and you don't know which one to pick.
Yeah,
Which one's the right one, you know?
right.
I'm always related to that.
All right.
And then
I
there
like
are,
that.
you know, pieces of all the women to relate to, but I think in Cinderella for that reason the most.
Yeah, and I would say, all joking aside, you've related to other characters for similar reasons in the past, so you're consistent. I'm not. That's not a joke. That's not a goof. That's a real poignant observation.
Thanks to
Observation. All right, so I actually have two. I always do. Uh,
First of all, the giant.
first of all, actually, yes, that is the first one that I relate to. I relate to the male giant because if I die, it will be from chasing someone off of my lawn and then falling to my death. There's no questions asked about that. There's absolutely the way I'm going out. Hopefully in the clouds somehow, but we'll see. So the giant, but also the cow. Is the other character here I relate to. I'm always eating weird shit, things that I probably shouldn't be eating, like capes and shoes and things like that.
Yeah.
Also generally unmilkable. Can't really milk me very much. I don't lactate.
Well.
Which I think is
Gonna have to verify that with Liv, but
yeah, you know what? She may know a way that I could lactate, but I've never seen it.
gross.
I'm talking real lactation.
No,
I'm not
me
talking
too.
About semen.
What? What
No one
happening?
was thinking about that lactation, Dan.
Yeah, I think I was.
What? I feel attacked.
You feel attacked.
I can't.
You just told me that I'm impotent.
I was threatened.
All right, so let's bring this thing home, huh? So Ryan, this is the surprise part of the show. That's only a surprise if you've never listened to a show, an episode, because it's the same every episode. So it's
Yes.
not a lot of a surprise, but we don't tell you about it beforehand.
Cool. Yeah, so here's what we do. We're gonna score this little puppy for
Puppy. Remember our puppy wranglers bit? Oh, I love that bit.
I don't.
Puppy wranglers.
Oh my
One of our
gosh.
better bits. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Guys, did you guys watch Westworld?
We did watch Waterworld.
That is so dumb. You could have been watching Westworld.
Wow.
Anyway,
2 hours well spent.
so what we
with the
do
Cost Man.
is what we do is we score the show.
When people watch a Kevin Costner movie, do you think they say, I just got accosted?
I think they say I should have been watching Westworld
That's probably
because
what
this
they
movie seems dumb.
Okay, sorry, go.
Okay, so we're in the part of the show when we score the musical we've been talking about and rate it. So we do it for pageantry and music and what's the last one,
You
Dan?
nailed it, writing.
And writing.
Writing.
Yes. And so we score it on whatever
music
scale we want to score it that week.
And to be clear, pageantry just means nothing. If you're
And
confused about
pageantry
it,
is just like-
it's nothing.
Oh, okay.
how much fun you think it was.
Yes.
Just the fun.
Yeah, it's,
Okay.
it's
Just
a
like
fun
the
quotient.
design, but it doesn't
It's
matter.
a category that I came up with.
Yeah, Dan loves to talk about the pageantry.
Because how do you not
Pageantry.
talk about the pageantry?
Yeah, and I mean, there's got to be so much to say about the pageantry.
You see? Exactly. All right, so do you want someone else to go first to show you the ropes? Or?
Sure, I think
Okay.
that would be nice.
I'll go.
Yeah, Dan, you go.
So I'm gonna give it for pageantry. It did have a fake, essentially cardboard cow, and birds tied to a string, and really no scenery whatsoever. So I'm gonna give it a big fat zero. Big fat zero unmilkable cows for pageantries. But I did have a lot of fun, to be clear. So I'll give it one. I'll give it one unmilkable cow for pageantry. For writing, however, I'm going to give it, out of 5, 9 buns, because it's a baker, out of 5.
Yeah.
Nine bread rolls out of 5.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great. It was very well written. It's brilliant. It's like one of those classic stories where you go, man, I wish I would have thought of that, but I wouldn't have done a good enough job. Like, it's just really, really smart tying all these fairy tales together. So 9 bread rolls out of 5 on writing. And then music, it's Sondheim. Like, I apparently really like his music. So I'm going to give it 15 chaotic, incomprehensible melodies out of 5 for music.
Okay.
Very good.
So staying in this five whatever it is rating is just
Oh,
It's just
that's
there, yeah.
It's
So
whatever
you
you need it to
You
be.
can feel free to exceed the
Yeah.
5.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we've
Yeah.
ever actually stayed within the 5.
Mm-hmm.
We stay below it a lot. But,
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Ryan. I want to see what Ryan thinks last. So, Katie, you go next.
Okay, I'm ready. I disagree with you on pageantry for a little bit. You got an ugly witch turning into a hot witch.
Ah, yeah, you got me there. That was really
You've got
good.
heels coming, falling off. You got all that blood.
Heels. Oh, the blood.
When they chop their toes and their heels off.
and then the blood pours out of the heel. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fireball or like the sparks,
And a lady dies,
and the blood rushes.
You see some death.
All right, you finish yours, but I'm gonna recant my original.
Anyway, so I'm all in for like a 4 out of 5 on the pageantry.
Whoa, that's generous.
You think? I like it. I'm into it.
Let's split the difference. You give it a 3, I'll give it a 2. How about that?
I'm gonna give it a 4. You can give it whatever you want to
Thank
give
you
it.
so much. I really,
Split the difference.
I really didn't
Let's
want
agree
you to
on
say it.
your choice here.
I'm gonna go ahead and do what I want to do, and then you can do what you want.
All right, well then mine's just to go into 1.5.
All right, whatever you need, BB. Then for music, of course, like a million moments in the woods out of 5 possible moments in the woods, and then you can't beat it. Iconic songs here,
Yeah.
iconic. And for writing, I think the book gets a little bit confused in Act 2. Still an amazing story and still amazing musical, but I'm gonna just stick with a plain old 5 out of 5 for that one.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Real quick before we go to Ryan, Katie, will you please do the same rating scale for the film version?
Oh, yes.
It's it's for pageantry. It looked very beautiful, so I'll give that a 5 out of 5.
Whoa.
It looked, like they're doing this whole thing where they just like take Vanity Fair like photo spreads
yeah.
and like, making a movie.
Make a movie out of like very dark vignettes. And, yeah.
It's just like a beautiful pictures.
Was it directed by old Timothy Burtman?
No, it's a different dude, I think.
What the fuck was that voice?
I don't know.
He's a different dude, I think.
I was just holding my cheeks because it makes me so upset.
Rob Marshall.
Whoa, there's a lot of lightning going on, dudes. Yeah, Rob Marshall. He directed some.
He directed Chicago as well, by the way. Which
Yeah,
was our
that's
first episode.
I knew that.
Yeah.
So it should high hopes for that because Chicago was great.
And Memories of a Geisha.
Well, memoirs. But yes.
Memories.
Memories of a Geisha.
All those great memories.
Well, I guess they are memories if they're memoirs. But.
Oh boy.
Rob Marjolaine.
But for music and writing and everything else, I just have to give it a 0.
All right, fair enough. I was hoping for some our first negative scores, but
I was thinking negative, but I don't want to be mean.
Alright.
But it would be like a negative million.
a negative million.
It'd just be one of those classic negative million
There is
readings.
an advertisement for a movie called Valerian on IMDb. It looks wonderful.
It is with Rihanna, and it looks so good.
But she's not even listed as a title character. Cara Delevingne or whatever.
Yeah.
She's good. I like her. I don't know who Dane
She's fine.
DeHaan is, though.
Who?
I don't know. This other kid that's in it. Some bum.
Okay.
Some Dane
I'm excited
DeHaan.
about Rihanna.
Some damn DM. All right. So, Ryan, take us home.
So pageantry,
Yeah.
I feel like I would give it a 3 out of 5.
I burped. That's why I walked over.
Oh,
there.
okay.
I didn't want- I
Yeah.
wasn't trying to correct anything you were saying.
Oh, no, I was just interested into your movement.
Yeah, you sort of looked at me like, what am I doing?
What?
Should I not be talking?
What should do it?
Sorry, will you say that again? Because I talked over it.
I would give it a 3 out of 5 for pageantry because I
Okay.
feel like, I don't know, it's kind of like what you said. Like they went with like the cow that was like super fake and the horse that was super fake and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, it just like
Yeah.
wasn't totally sold on me either way.
Yeah.
You know.
What about the one you saw in Canada, like with the white?
I actually liked that a little less.
Oh.
Yeah,
alright.
it was too bare.
Oh.
It was too it was like way too stripped down.
Oh. Maybe because it was like maybe a little more low budget too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. But I think it just had like a weird kind of vibe to
Yeah.
it.
All right.
As far as music, I will say 50 Midnight's Gone out of 3 Minutes
50
Gone.
Midnight's Gone. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. It's
Yeah.
Stephen Sondheim, and I just love that's one of the reasons that I picked the musical
Right.
to do was because the music is awesome stuff. And then the writing, 5 out of 5 for the writing
All
as
right,
well.
5 out of 5 what?
5 out of 5 of those little birds.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All 5 of them.
All
I think
5
they're
of those
they're
birds.
5
Yeah.
birds.
um,
If I wish that this was a live show, because then the audience would have just seen Ryan do the move with the birds.
yeah,
He
if
sort of
this was visual,
sorta
I talk
shook
with my
it.
hands extremely so this entire
This was
time.
he sort
visual.
of bent his elbows. See if I can paint a word picture for you guys. He bent his arms in sort of a 90-degree angle and spread his fingers out, and then he kind of raised his shoulders in gyrations as the birds did. It was truly something else.
I really try my best to mimic it
It was
for
really
no
good.
one who is actually seeing this. But yeah, 5 out of 5 for the writing. I love that the first half. I love just the intertwining of all the stories, all the characters that you already
Yeah.
kind of know, and then the fact that you kind of really get to dig deep and see them as actual people. And then the juxtaposition between Act 1 and Act 2.
Yeah, very
the
cool.
Extreme adult themes in the Act
Like two different
2 and
two
yeah,
different
exactly.
stories, almost
Like
like
you
we
could
said. Yeah.
yeah, you could pop in either one and it would almost make sense.
Yep. Or you could pop in Waterworld. It's up to you.
Yeah.
False.
This I think is for me the first musical, maybe not the first, but that we've seen that we've done on MusiPals that has a potential to get perfect 1,000,000 out of 5 across the board. If they just did the pageantry a little harder in a stage version, they do something special. Like if the people who did SpongeBob did Into the Woods, although I know people like stick to the traditions and it's gonna end up looking exactly the same because musical theater. Blah.
Were you listening to what I was saying yesterday? That like the one from London like totally reimagined it.
I didn't know you said that they reimagined it.
Well, they changed the narrator to a little boy and they made
Well,
the
yeah.
costumes modern.
Well, yeah, okay, but I'm talking like SpongeBob level, where they're like the whole freaking
What do you
audience.
want? Like confetti cannons?
I want some confetti cannons. I want to be in a wood. I want to be the whole freaking audience is in the woods, is in a forest, and I want
All right.
a Rube Goldberg experiment like in SpongeBob, and that's how the giant gets killed.
This would be a cool production to do. It's very trendy now to have performances that like you follow the actors around. And this would be a cool one to do where you follow them through some kind of wooded area.
What do you mean? You follow them around like you?
Yeah.
You like
so there's
walk?
a production. Yeah. So there's
What?
a production in New York called Sleep No More of Macbeth, where it's a building that they turn into the McKittrick Hotel, and it's like this like 1920s style like grand hotel in New York, and the actors like go throughout the different floors
That
and
is
like you
so
follow them
cool.
That's
around.
really cool.
It's so
yeah,
friggin'
we
cool.
talked about this. I think Sweeney Todd maybe because I was like, it's like cool dinner theater or something like that. I think.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, and so just like more immersive productions are like very trendy, and I feel like this would be a really cool one to do that with.
Man,
Like you
that'd be
could like
so
run around the
fun.
woods with them, like
Oh my
it'd be
God.
tight.
I would be a music nerd overnight. I make you a music nerd overnight. It's a song.
That's the song you just wrote.
It's still a song. Once we committed to tape, it's a song.
Sondheim will pick that one up too.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
sure.
that's real though. I think that's real.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
All right.
Well, I think overall we had a lot of good positive reviews.
Hell yeah.
I think mine was the most negative as usual, but I still very much
usual.
enjoyed it. And as I
Yay.
tweeted, for those of you who saw it, I actually found myself listening to the soundtrack of this. Of Into the
Yeah, I was
Woods.
wondering what song you were tweeting about when I read that tweet.
Well, so I turned on the finale so that I could, prepare myself for this amazing the way we opened this show. But then I just sort of left it on, and then it just started over, and I was like, didn't even realize it. I was like, I'm good with these. This is fine. I'm good with these. Yeah, so solid production. Anything else anyone wants to say about it?
I don't think so.
Ryan?
No.
We love it.
Yeah. Ryan, give it a 1-word rating.
Enchanting.
Ooh.
Wonderful.
Ryan
Ties in-
Anderson calls it enchanting, period.
Period.
That's all
as
your
if you're
reviews.
telling it to Siri.
Period.
All right. Well, I think that does it. Thank you so much for joining us, Ryan.
Thank you
and
so much for having
saving
me.
the day.
Yeah, thank you.
This
Really,
was
so
really
fun.
fun.
Yeah, absolutely. We love doing this, and we would love to have you back someday. Obviously, we got to get through a long list of people we
Well,
need to
of
talk to,
course.
but we'd love to have you back someday.
Well, I would
So.
love to come back.
All right, we'll do King and I maybe.
You.
Maybe.
No,
Maybe.
we will not. We absolutely will not. I will not commit more of my life to that musical. Katie, why don't you tell them where they can find us?
Okay. So, we're all over social media now, so if you're into that, please follow us. We'd love to have you along. We have an Instagram, that's at the MusiPals. We have a Twitter, at the MusiPals. We have a Facebook page. You can find us, the MusiPals, now, so you can get all your good updates, and then you can listen to us whenever you get your podcasts, as long as that's on iTunes or SoundCloud.
Love that goof. Anywhere you want, as long as it's those two places.
Anywhere you want, as long as these are the two places you want.
Yeah. Big shout out to Arcade Audio. Thanks
Yeah.
again we're so excited to join them. And if you want to check out their other shows, you can just type in Arcade Audio on the podcasts app, or you can go to arcadeaudio.net. You can go to arcadeaudio.net and you just click on the podcasts tab. Like I said, there's some really great shows on there. And if you're interested in seeing live shows, like we might be there. I don't want to make any promises yet. PodSlam is September 23rd, and again, that is a live show at the Improv. What is it called? Improv Olympics IO Theater.
Yeah.
In Chicago, Illinois, September 23rd. All proceeds go to charity, so that's just a really great thing. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
thanks everybody. Oh no,
Okay.
wait, no, what am I doing?
don't know.
Ryan, would you like to make some plugs for us? For yourself.
Oh, no. I'm good.
You don't have any plugs?
No plugs. I'm
Well,
plugless.
he did earlier.
Yeah, I did earlier.
You're unplugged.
Unplugged.
All right, well, thanks for joining us. If you want to check out Ryan Anderson's work, he told you how to do that in the beginning of the episode. So, rjamusic.com.
Yep.
There you
Yep,
go.
yep.
For all your listening and recording needs. All right. Thanks, pals. See you on
Bye.
another time. You gonna say bye, Ryan?
Bye.
Okay.
Thank you for playing Arcade Audio. Play more at arcadeaudio.net.